Hey there, Starshine. This is Smadar from Song of Stones, and I'm here with some really beautiful, raw, natural carnelian stones. And before I start, let me just introduce myself for those who don't know who I am. I'm co-creator of Song of Stones. I'm a crystal whisperer, among other things, and what that means is I listen to messages from the crystals and share them out on the website and through the newsletter during the full and new moons every month. And actually these guys were the volunteers for this past full moon, crystal moon message. And they're always really lovely messages that the stones have for us. And if you're interested in receiving those, you are always invited to sign up for the newsletter at songofstones.com. I'm not sure. I believe that December is probably going to be the last month I regularly share messages on the newsletter. So if you're interested in hearing some of the messages, I encourage you to sign up sooner rather than later. So these guys, first of all, I want to tell you that carnelian is one of those undervalued and underappreciated stones. Those who know about carnelian, they know carnelian's magic, but it's one of those really abundant, really inexpensive stones. And sometimes the things that are right under our nose, that are readily available, that are easy to access, are not always the ones that we reach out for. We look for the Lemurians, we look for the Sacred Seven, and we look for, the stones with the fancy trademarked names. And I'm not saying those aren't amazing stones, because they all are. They all have really amazing gifts. But sometimes the ones that are there for us, that are available, that are inexpensive and easy to access, we don't always think to reach for those. So I'm here to remind you about the magic of carnelian. It's kind of a lovely story. I share the whole story on in this last newsletter, not the newsletter, the light log. So if you're interested in hearing the full story, you can pop over to the website, songofstones.com, and scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see a link for the light logs. And it'll be the most recent one if you're hearing this video soon. That's the magic of technology. You could possibly be listening to this message a year from now, or 10 years from now, who knows? So carnelian, I didn't even realize that carnelian was singing. I thought a different stone was actually going to be the one sharing the crystal moon message, but then just carnelian kept popping up, and then I realized they were trying to get my attention. So I started listening, and I thought that I would, usually I listen for the message on the day of the full moon or the new moon. But this one wasn't coming through, or it was, I just, the energy and the songs are coming through. It just wasn't ready to be written down on paper. So I was carrying these guys around up and down every morning and every night, just expecting to receive their message. And something really magical happened in the meantime. All this beautiful creative energy started pouring in. And I had started having really lovely inspiration for all kinds of things. And I realized, of course, that was carnelian. And carnelian's always been around for me. It's one of those stones that I've always had nearby. I think it was one of the first stones that I started carrying when I first reconnected with the stone beings many, 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 many moons ago. I was a different person back then. And I had a lot of social anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety, period. And I started going to these classes, these local classes, and I felt, out of place and uncomfortable. And I didn't really say very much, and I didn't participate very often. And then I thought to start carrying carnelian with me. And carnelian really helped me to feel comfortable in my skin, which is, that alone is one of the most amazing gifts a person can have, because, so many of us, especially the sensitive souls, really have a challenge with that. So I started participating more. I started asking questions. I started just feeling more comfortable. I started forging friendships with people that I still have to this day. And I credit my connection with carnelian for that. And I just want to be clear, because the stones are very magical, but the magic that happens comes from within, comes from us. The stone beings, really what they do is they help us to get in touch with that part of ourselves. They remind us. So while they are really magical, wonderful beings, the shifts and the transformations really happen within. The stones really get us to, they're kind of like a mirror. They reflect us the exact thing that we need to see. And they model a vibration that we can, if we're open to, pick up on and shift into. It's kind of like, how parents will model behavior for their kids, in a sense. If they want their children to behave a certain way, the best way to teach them is by example. And that's kind of a little like what happens with the stone beings. They model a certain vibration. They emanate a certain vibration. And by being around that vibration, we remember that part of ourselves. And we're able to access it more easily. Plus, they're gorgeous. I mean, so more recently, I'm just trying to think of what else I want to tell you guys about carnelian, because there's so much. Definitely a stone of creativity. And also, I want to mention their color. Carnelian is really helpful for trauma. And I think that's partly because of their color. Orange is a trauma color. If you're ever feeling, trauma or grief, reach out for some orange. So eat orange, eat things that are orange, or wear an orange scarf, or get yourself an orange throw pillow or something, and connect with that color. And carnelian has that. You can connect with carnelian. Carnelian has that beautiful orange color energy. But I think it's a little more than that with carnelian as well. They also have this energetic emanation that soothes. So, yeah, I mean, I have a lot more to say about carnelian. Best thing is, if you want to know more, head over to songofstones.com and check out the blog post, and sign up for the newsletter if you want to receive the messages of the stone beings. If you are particularly interested in carnelian, after you've signed up, if you want to get that message, you could just send me a message and I will send it to you. And in the meantime, I invite you to just tap into the energy of these stones here and just feel into how you resonate with them. And remember that, even if you don't have access to a crystal, you can connect to their energy over distance. They're magical that way. So I want to send you lots and lots of love and many, many blessings, and I will see you.